Hey, Robin Robbins here, founder of technologymarketingtoolkit.com, and in this video I'm going to be talking about selling. I know I'm known for marketing, but obviously I have to sell something. Marketing is the point is to set it up so you can sell something. So I see sales and marketing as hand in hand, and I want to talk about how you can be more effective. And if you want to really know one of the key habits or traits I see shared by those who are highly effective at selling IT solutions and those who are not, I could sum it up in one word, which is preparation. Obviously, I could just end the video now, but you got to know what to prepare. So in order to kind of drive home the point, I want to share a story with you. I was recently at a home decorating show, and it was kind of an expensive home remodeling products and services place, and we're getting ready to build a new house. So I'm standing there, and a husband and wife team arrive in the store, and they've got a brochure in their hand, and they're looking at and in very serious discussion with each other over two different types of marble floors. And they're spent at least 5 to 10 minutes looking at one in particular sample. They're holding it, they're comparing it against, I think it was like a wood swatch that they brought. And the salesman finally comes out and he's chewing food in his mouth, wiping his hands on his pants as he approaches, and he says, "Can I help you?" He never asks these people a simple question. He gives very basic answers regarding the product, never asks for a trial close, never says, "Well, how soon are you looking to make a purchase?" He never says, "Hey, what type of room are you looking to install this in?" He doesn't even inquire about who's going to do the installation. And by the way, the showroom offers this service in addition to selling the raw materials. I mean, never even attempts to ask for the order, and ends the conversation by saying, "Well, I'll be over there in that room if you need anything," because obviously we interrupted his lunch, and he walks away. And so the couple walks off to another section of the store and they look at more display units. They come back to the same sample that they're looking at, and this time they're totally ignored by the salesman. It's unbelievable. It was driving me nuts. I could have gone over there and closed the sale without even knowing anything about the product or even working there. And this is all going on with the store manager on site. So, I mean, even if they had a basic sales process, nothing sophisticated, they could have been closing a lot more business. I'm talking about like, hey, dum-dum, make sure you don't approach prospects with your mouth full. And beyond that, ask a few intelligent questions, even if they'd like to place their order today. How hard is that? Capture their information for follow-up. It just makes my head hurt to know how simple this could be if they would have prepared. But they don't. And don't be so quick to smirk. I can practically guarantee this is going on in your organization too. If I've eavesdropped on some of your texts or your salespeople or front desk calls or meetings, or if you did, you'd probably want to vomit when you heard what they were saying. You know, Zig Ziglar often talked about how many CEOs told him motivational sales training was a waste of time and money because the effect wears off so fast. He always replied, "So does bathing," which is why we recommend you do it daily. And this goes for sales training, management, and supervision. Daily is ideal. Weekly is mandatory. If you do certain things a certain way and they're important to you to be done that way, then make sure you're documenting your sales process, role-playing, practicing it, drilling it into your salespeople's heads. And yes, they're going to think you're a giant pain in the rear, a complete control freak, but remember, it's your paycheck on the line every time they screw up a potential sale. So here's a list of internal sales training items and resources that you should have at a minimum. First of all, you want to have a list of frequently asked questions. That's really important because I'm sure as you have ventured into selling for your company and your organization, you know there are certain questions that come up over and over again. One might be, well, how do your services work? Another might be, well, why am I on a contract? Why do we need managed versus break fix? Or whatever it is. Make sure you have that list of frequently asked questions and answers. You might even think about putting that on your website. I can tell you in my organization, we have done this, and in our marketing collateral when we were mailing it out, we're still mailing out, but we noticed when we added that list of frequently asked questions and we put it in there, we got a bump in conversion, a pretty significant bump in conversion. So make sure you got that list of frequently asked questions and answers so that your salespeople know how to handle that. Second, you need a list of common objections and, of course, scripted answers. And again, there are certain objections you're going to get all the time, like about price, about delivery, about whatever it is. There's not that many. Make sure you have a list of those common objections and then script them out and role play with your salespeople. Number 3, you need a completely choreographed sales process. And what I mean by choreographed is you don't go in there and you don't wing it. What you want to do is you want to make sure you know the process, the questions you're going to ask, the goals from one meeting to the next meeting to how you're going to close this sale. If you don't have that mapped out, then you are losing sales, because I can promise you, you're not doing it consistently. And as you hire more salespeople, they're not going to be able to follow a process that you don't even have. Don't hope that they're going to be good. Don't wish for them to have great skills or be a good talker. Choreograph it, test it, script it, and learn it, and that way you can be more consistent in closing sales. Number 4, you gotta have a weekly review of the numbers. Even if it's just you selling now, sit down and ask yourself, how many leads did we get this week? How many appointments did I get? How many sales did I close? And what's the average dollar volume of sales? That's called a pipeline report, and everybody needs it. And when I was interviewing and have been interviewing CEOs of multi-million-dollar MSP companies, IT service companies, they all will tell you they watch the numbers like a hawk, and their sales pipeline is one of the numbers they watch every single week, because that tells them where they need, how they can plan for their organization, how to plan for growth. It also tells them when they're going to be having to hire techs and other resources. So that's really important. You also need a list, and I'd recommend you have this, a list of key accounts with an action plan for what's next. I see so many IT service companies leaving tons of money on the table. They've got all these clients and they're out there looking for new ones, and they're not doing anything with the current clients they have. So one of the things I'd recommend you do, list all of your key accounts and make sure you know what you're selling them, and plan on what is the next step that you're going to sell them, whether that's an upgrade to their service, a phone system, maybe a document management solution, or whatever it is. Make sure you have an action plan of what's next and what else you want to deliver to that client or sell to that client. And then number 6 is make sure you have a library of sales training material. Especially for you, if you're in sales, you got to learn it. You've got to be constantly sharpening the axe. And if you have salespeople, obviously you want them trained, you want them to be educated, you want to constantly keep them sharp. And the only way you can do that is by having a big library of sales material and using it and going through it frequently, because you can forget. And that's the difference between those who are really awesome at selling and those who aren't. Those who are awesome, they're constantly sharpening their axe. They're constantly working on their script and their process. And if you don't have that script and process and you're not currently working on it all the time, you're basically going in and just blind swinging at whatever prospects come your way, and you're losing opportunities. And opportunities are so hard to get. You know, those leads, those good quality clients, they're so hard to get. So when you get them, be prepared. Make sure you can close those deals. Now, at boot camp that's coming up in about a month's time now, I'm going to be delivering an advanced sales training session, and I hope you're going to join me for that. Right now, we're almost sold out, but virtual tickets are still available, so you can come and you can watch us virtually. And so go over to robinsbigseminar.com. Make sure you come and check us out, and join me for my advanced sales training presentation that I'm going to deliver there, along with all the other great speakers we've got, like Vern Harnish and David Allen and Diana Nyad. So go to robinsbigseminar.com and register today.